Do you still speak to Dan?
Dan was great. He adhered to that. He adhered to that setup. He played with a 3-piece kit. I haven't spoken to Dan since he was in the band.
I don't think he's checking his email.
Yeah, I don't think
it's been a bit difficult to get a hold of Dan.
Kinda can't get a hold of him.
We've actually tried to reach out to him last year, but we couldn't hear from him. But hi Dan, hope you're good.
Okay. You said Rich entered during a tour. How far were you into the new album back then? Were you actually?
No, we weren't even started.
Okay.
We were just throwing around names for producers, and not even that.
Yeah, we hadn't even gone towards thinking of making a record yet.
Apart from his attitude towards drumming, what did he tell you about the band? Did he say something when he joined you? Did he say, "Well, this is my take on the band or the music," or did he?
No, he was just really. He did his homework, so to say. He knew all the songs as good, if not better than us. So he was just super prepared. He studied everything. He made charts of everything, of all the drum parts and whatnot. So he just knew what was expected of him. And
and him being a school drummer kind of raises a red flag for me because I'm not schooled, and that's how I go by it. But what he also had, besides the schooling and the charts and all that bullshit, was the soul that is the most important. I've watched very, very schooled drummers, even in our band. They've got it, but they just don't have what this band needs, which is almost a loose, near
disaster train wreck,
but always keeping focus. So it's a mishmash of this, and that comes with like a swing and a vibe and a soul to it.
When did you notice that your band needed this sort of drumming? Have you always known?
Oh, it's always been, but you get who you get, and they change, or they bring in what they want to bring in.
Well, what was then actually for you the starting point of this album, this new album?
Well, we kind of finished the touring cycle, and towards the end of last year, which when we finished the Scandinavian tour, which is the first tour that Rich did overseas with us, and we all knew after that, it's like we're gonna take a little breather for the holidays, and then we're gonna start making a new record. So we kind of set out from January till August, September, right? That's that time there to make the record, and we slowly started like song by song. Literally, he'd come over to my house. We'd jot down together an idea, send it to Rich as an MP3, and then we'd meet up with Rich, and then we'd record the song with him playing drums, because that just saves the time of showing everybody how the song structure is and whatnot. We record 2 or 3 songs one day, then we'd do that every week. Maybe we take a couple of days off here and there, and we just kept at it like consistently, and then we built up a body of work. Met with Eric Ratz, who produced our record, and when we knew we had enough songs, then we moved to the next step, which was starting the pre-production with Eric. So then that was basically us re-recording all those songs that we did in the space over and over again, like 3 or 4 times extra, until we were ready to go into the studio.
Did you talk about what the album should sound like, or what sort of direction you wanted to go?
In a way, when Eric came in, he just said, "I want to make this record sound like Danko Jones." So he already knew the band, and he knew that he's a rocker at heart, so he wanted it to sound like a heavy rock record, and he's really great at getting good guitar tones, and that's something that excited you in particular for this record here.
Definitely. So. It's something that's always been a stickler for me, and not a stickler, but a sticking point, I should say, for past records. Not to throw anybody under the bus, but I've always I've always quietly said, like, guitar tones just kind of miss the mark by a few inches, every single stab at it. And this one, Eric really concentrated on guitar a lot. It's pretty intense, but I'm glad, because I'm really happy with the guitars on this album.
Yeah, sonic-wise, everything from guitars to vocals to drums to bass, it all worked in tandem to make the record as furious as it sounds.
But also, to be fair, you know, it's also a matter of the amount of time we gave to make the album is more than all the other previous records. We've always been like, okay, we've got to get it done by this time because we've got to go on the road, and this has to be done by this time because we've got to do this. This was the first record where we just said, we are working on a record, and nobody and nothing is going to
no distractions,
interfere. And so it allowed me to relax, take my time, be very, very carefree about it almost. And the ideas really came. It took a bit of time, like a few weeks. We took off for New Year's and the holidays, and then, you know, it took that one straw to just break the dam, and then it just slowly just started coming very consistently and consecutively.
What did break the dam?
Actually, I could really point it out. It's Body Bags was really the first idea.
One of the first songs that
set the tone for the record, and it was like, oh shit! Imagine, I loved it so much, and it's still kind of my favorite song off the record. But I was just like, wow, okay. Imagine a whole album like this. It would just...
And that's what Fire Music is.
And so it did set the tone. Obviously, there's songs that go in 1 or 2 degrees directions left or right, but really gave the focus. And then Gonna Be a Fight came. I Will Break Your Heart came, and Twisting Knife came really quickly.
What influenced the lyrics for you?
There's lyrically, the influences are the same as all the other records. You know, just relationships and revenge and stuff like that. Just
because there's a line, I don't forget, I do not forgive, is a line from Body Bags. Can you maybe, I don't know, if you want to share what is the story behind this song?
It's a revenge song.
Yeah.
I mean, it starts off, the line goes, line up all my enemies, tell them what they did to me. So that's all just a revenge fantasy song of taking people who have done me wrong and just like getting rid of them. And the line that you quoted is just a sentiment that I definitely hold close. I don't believe in the whole forgive and forget. I never have as a kid. I just thought this is ridiculous.
Why?
Because if you forget, you're doomed to repeat that this person will fuck you over again. Once I got into the real world, well, I don't understand. Forget.
Yeah, forget, okay, but forgive maybe?
Depending on the circumstances, that's very important. And people use these blanket statements for every situation in their lives. It's very misleading. Forgiving and forgetting, sure, given the right circumstances. I've done it occasionally in my life. But let's be real here. Don't do it, because you're going to fuck yourself over. You might as well put a kick me sign on your back.
And on the front.
Yeah, on the front. Right on your face.
Did you have someone particular in mind when you wrote this song?
Yes, of course, always.
And who?
Oh, that's for me to just keep.
Do you know? Do you know what he's
I totally know.
Okay.
And you know what? I'm not going to tell you.
But it, like that...
Because he won't forgive you.
He won't forgive me then. Then the next one's going to be about me.
Body Bags is a composite of people. It's definitely more than one person. It's even more than like 2 people. There's songs that are 2 people. Some songs are about 4 people. Some songs are about 1 person, for sure.